How you doing? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Long time no hear from you, man. How you been?
Yeah, I know. Listen, last year you walked into this camp and Trevor was the guy. This was Trevor's team. Tyson was an older guy. You looked, you watched, you learned. How are you making this your team this spring? Or do you feel like this is your team yet? What are you doing to kind of put your print on this club?
I mean, I'm just trying to go out every day, just trying to do my job. I mean, we talk about in the quarterback room. Every quarterback is just trying to do, try to do our 111. Not trying to do anything spectacular, just trying to do our job each and every time. So every time I'm out here, I'm just trying to do my job, just trying to be able to be a leader for the guys, be someone to be a voice, and just be out there, just be the leader of the offense. Yes, sir.
Is there anything that you have done that maybe is a little bit different than last year to kind of put yourself out there as a guy that the other players can come and talk to or can lean on, or that you've done to show your leadership skills?
Definitely try to be a little bit more vocal this year. Last year I was behind Trevor, so I was just trying to be a little bit more vocal, trying to be that guy, just trying to be a leader, try to be by example each and every time. Just I want to be the most accountable guy on the team, as long as being the most accountable grip on the team as a quarterback. So I think that's one thing. Just trying to lead by example first. And I feel like as long as you lead by example, then everything else will follow. Just trying to lead by example first.
DJ, how big was that Notre Dame game in this whole process that we're talking about, leadership and everything else, just having been able to play that game?
You're talking about I couldn't hear you. You think you repeat that question?
I'm sorry. How big was the Notre Dame game in this whole process of adjusting to being the leader and the number one guy? The fact that you got to play that game.
I think it was a big process. I mean, be able to get to play one game last year, play 2 games, be able to start 2 games, be able to get to play the whole game with the Notre Dame game. I felt like it just got me getting ready for what's coming up for this next season. Got my feet wet. I felt like it was just a great opportunity to be out there and just be able to play and just be able to be the leader of the offense.
DJ, I asked Lynn J about any young guys who have stepped up and really look good. And of course, this time last season, you were one of those guys. But have you noticed any of the freshmen that you say, oh, man, this guy's got the goods?
I mean, there's a handful of freshmen. I'll probably name a few. I know one guy on the defensive side I like is Makumba. I like him a lot. He's a safety from Texas, from Austin, Texas. He looks really good. And then another guy I'd probably say on the offensive side is Will Shipp. He's been during all mat drills, all the practice and stuff, he just looks real great out here. He's really fast running back. And you could just tell he has that mindset for him where he just wants to come out and compete. And you could just tell he's just really locked in and really focused when it comes to the program.
It's David again. What's it been like to get Bo back out there on the field with you? And did you guys pick up right where you left off?
I mean, definitely. I mean, shoot, it's been a year since I played with Bo, but I mean, having him out here at practice, it just was exactly the same. Be able to play with him in high school, just having that comfortability with him, be able to throw in him today and stuff like that. It's just been great. We built a great chemistry back in Bosco, St. John Bosco, and just being able to have him here at Clemson, this is all I can have. So he's been doing really good out here, picking up the offense great, and he's been looking really well at practice.
DJ, this is Grace from The Athletic. Obviously, we know coaches are asking you to step into that leadership role, but just on the field, what are they asking you to really focus on this offseason?
Just becoming that leader of the offense. Just be able to know everything about the playbook. Be able to just know everything about the offense. Make little checks. Just lead on the field and be able to just be more accountable and just be able to be that person where, just like Trevor, where is going against tough, the quarterback's right there. Just be the most accountable on the team.
When did you feel like you had a real grasp on the playbook last year? Like, when did you feel like you fully got it?
I feel like I fully got the playbook. Probably going during fall camp, right after fall camp, leading into preparation going into the first week. I feel like right after fall camp, I feel like that's when I had a really good grasp on the playbook, the protections, knowing most of them knowing main protections, different things like that, different coverages, where do my hot reads at, what I do for splits, where I do cover 2, 3 cloud, different stuff like that. I feel like that's when I really grasped the playbook and knew different things to do.
Anything else for?
Hey, DJ, this is Anna with Clemson 24/7. Weight-wise, are you still about the same that you have been?
Yeah, yes, ma'am, around 250. Yes, ma'am.
And then physically, I know you talked about learning the playbook, the offense, kind of being able to master that. Is there anything physically in terms of footwork or motion, throwing motion, anything that you've talked with Streeter with that you feel like you need to tweak this spring?
I mean, definitely. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of stuff I need to work on. Footwork, throwing motion. I feel like as a quarterback, there's always I feel like you never get too good at footwork, especially footwork. I mean, I think everything as a quarterback starts with your footwork. And if you have your feet set and every single throw is going to make it that much easier to be able to make every single throw. So we talk about it each and every day in the quarterback room, not even for just me, for all the quarterbacks. So our biggest thing is footwork. If your footwork set, then it's going to make the ball a lot easier. You go 10 out of 10 times more accurate when you have your feet set.
Hey, DJ, it's Trevor Gross from CUTigers.com. How much were you able to throw with Justin last fall? And do you feel like you're establishing a pretty good chemistry with him right now?
For the most part, I mean, Justin, even though he didn't get to play, he was out there practicing with us. So, I got to throw a little bit of reps with him. So it was great to see him out there during the fall, and then now during springtime, it was good to see him out here getting reps with him. And before we started spring practice, working on our own. I got to work with him one-on-one and stuff like that with the receiver. So it's just been really good to be able to see him out there. I mean, you can just see the ability. I just can't wait until he's able to go this season and show people what he can do.
How unusual is it to have a tall guy like him in the slot?
It's crazy. I mean, shoot, you see him. I mean, he could play all over the field. I mean, he could play 2-man, 9-man, 5-man. He could play everywhere. But just to see how versatile he is, being 6'3", 6'4", and to be able to just to see how fast he can move in and out of cuts. I mean, it's insane to see a big guy like that just get in and out of cuts and just be able to play all over the field.
Hey, DJ, this is Mark from WYFF. How would you describe your leadership style?
I would say more. I want more of just a lead by example type of guy. I mean, I'm gonna be vocal when I need to be, but I feel like more kind of like I want to be able to lead by example. I want to be on the field, I'm gonna be vocal, but I just want to be able to just lead by example, just show by my play, just let my play do the talk.
Are you comfortable getting after a guy if he's not doing the right thing out there?
Yes, sir. Definitely. I think you have to be playing quarterback. I think you don't want to do that. I mean, especially with a receiver off the line, you don't want to get after them because they're working their butts off. You know, they're working their butts off for you. So you don't want to just go out there and just yell at them, dropping the ball and stuff like that. So I feel like I take a little bit more different approach to it. I kind of just talk to them and different stuff like that. But if they're doing the wrong thing, I need to get after them. I'll definitely do that.
Was that something you talked to Trevor at all about leadership when he was when you had a chance to pick his brain?
Definitely. I mean, I talked to Trevor about a bunch of stuff. You know, just sitting back and observing, you get to see a lot of stuff for your own perspective. I mean, being quarterback, I get to see a lot of different perspectives of what Trevor goes through a daily day and just different stuff on the field. So I definitely got to pick his brain and just observe. So I took a lot of mental notes and just got to ask him different questions. So definitely, I took a lot of stuff.
Along those lines, DJ, I guess you talked a lot last year about how much you learned from him with time management and just kind of the way he carried himself. But what would you say was the most important mental note that you took from him, whether it was mechanically or really anything?
I think probably the biggest thing I took was probably the way he handles everything. I feel like the way he is as a man, the way he is with his faith, how committed he is to it, how committed he is to being the best person on the field and off the field, how he's never late to anything, how he's on time for everything, how he's always on time for school, gets all the schoolwork done, how he's just always there to be accountable for everybody. I feel like that was the biggest thing. I mean, you see when you have a magnitude of Trevor Lawrence, I mean, everyone knew he was going to be the number one draft, probably coming out of high school, and after his freshman season through the national championship, and be able to play 3 seasons with that much pressure, and just to be able to not be able to phase him and feel like it's nothing, that it's normal. I feel like it's a true testament of his faith and just how he was raised by his parents and how much of a great job at Clemson's done.
DJ, why did you fall so much in love with Clemson? You know, why not USC? Why not Alabama? Why not, Florida? Why? I think you've told the story before, but I don't remember.
I think I remember when I first came to Clemson, the biggest thing for me that stood out was that coaches here that they openly talked about the faith of Jesus Christ, and that was a huge thing for me to be able to hear coaches just openly talk about that, and it was real genuine that you knew that they were just saying that because they just said that, but they were really genuine about their faith. So for me, I never heard many coaches talk openly about their faith, and that was the biggest thing for me. When I knew that, I could just feel in the Holy Spirit that He told me that I could just feel the Holy Spirit telling me this is where He wants me to be. I remember telling my mom that night, I was like, yeah, I know I'm gonna come to Clemson. But I feel like this is definitely where God wants me to be at.
Hey, DJ, it's Josh from Charleston. What do you think of Trevor's pro day? I mean, did you make sure you sat down and watched that? And have you communicated with him at all since then, just about how he's doing?
Definitely, I feel like Trevor did a great job in the pro day, even though he only got like 1 week to throw the ball, 2 weeks to throw the ball. I mean, shoot, he's the best quarterback in the draft, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there only should have been one team here, unless everyone else was here to see Cornell. But I feel like the Jaguars definitely should be taking Trevor in the first pick. But I talked to him since then. I remember he texted me probably like a week ago because he's in California right now. And he just texted me out of the blue, like, hey, you know any places to eat out here? It was hilarious. I'm like, yeah, where you at? And he said he's in Santa Monica. I told him it's like a really good seafood place to eat out there. But it was just random. Like, he just texted me. He's a big food guy. People probably know that, but he was just asking me like, what's a good place to eat out there? So it was pretty funny.
What was that seafood place called?
I don't even know. My brother been to Santa Monica. He told me. Remember, he said he went there with one of his friends. He was like, but he said like there's a seafood place right there by the pier. He said it was like glass. It looked really nice. I think it was like really expensive, but it was a really nice place. And he said they had like good fish tacos. That's what he told me. But I haven't been there yet.
We'll take one or two more for DJ.
Hey, it's David again. We know that you got that shoulder banged up last year. How long did it take you to feel 100%? You know, and are you 100% in the spring?
I definitely feel like I'm 100% coming off of my shoulder injury. I just feel like it just needed some time to rest. I feel like it was just a little banged up during the season, but I mean, playing the season, you're going to be banged up and stuff like that. But I feel like ever since I come off the season, a little bit of time off, it's 100% ready to go.
We'll take one more.